The Remembering Them podcast is a platform for people to share stories and memories of their loved ones who have passed away. The podcast was created in memory of Dad, Bob Cecil. May he rest in peace. Your hosts, Mark Cecil and Ryan Thwaites, acknowledge the rich history and importance of storytelling within Indigenous culture.
My name is Jorgi Skeen, and I would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land in which we meet here today. Today we're meeting in Meanjin, and those traditional owners are the Yagara and Turrbal people, and I'd also like to pay my respects to their elders past, present and emerging, and acknowledge my people, the Gubbi Gubbi people, and extend that acknowledgement to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people listening in today.
Hello Ryan and Luke, welcome back to the podcast.
Hello, Mark and Luke.
Hello, everyone. Listeners, hello.
Yeah, good one, mate.
Mess that up, let's start again. No. 3 guesses for
Straight into
Luke
it.
and Ryan.
This dumb way to die?
This is a Dumb Way to Die episode.
Oh,
Yes.
All right, I'll do your job for you.
Okay, all right, off you go.
what are the questions, mate?
No, just that part.
It is a Dumb Ways to Die episode, so for our listeners at home, if you're not aware of these episodes, a little bit lighter, a little bit shorter, speaking about someone, again, to reiterate, as we always do, not making fun of this person who's passed away, just looking at a story that may is somewhat humorous. 3 guesses or 3 clues for you both to guess where our guest is from today. Clue number 1, play along at home as always. Over 60% of this city's street trees are mapped and tracked online. There's a public map that tracks the health, species and size of every tree planted on the sidewalk. There's even a tree census.
Tree census. I like the
Clue
sound of
number
that.
1 after city.
This is a city. And I was just thinking, this isn't America because this is too,
Too green.
this is too green. But there are very progressive
Can't get-
parts of America.
Can't get green there, I've heard.
Like San Francisco might do this.
No.
San Francisco might do this. Get out of here.
Is that your guess?
No.
Who are you telling to get out
San
of here?
Francisco.
Come on, mate.
It is your guess?
Are you
You only
serious?
get 1 guess. You got to agree.
Come on,
Oh,
man.
why can't we
We
get
never
one?
agree.
Yeah, we'll never go.
Okay, well, Ryan, take this one.
San Francisco.
Wrong.
This is what I'm talking about, honestly.
Just wasting a guess. Clue number 2 for our listeners at home as well. Play along.
San Francisco.
Oh, actually, you should have taken clue number 2, Ryan, because this is into your wheelhouse.
We can
Too bad.
Too late.
Shut up,
Pigeons.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Ryan's
Ryan's
a
a
big
bird
pigeon
guy.
He's weird like that.
Pigeon.
Pigeons are trained to smuggle drugs. Some city pigeons in this city have been trained by criminals to act as tiny feathered drug mules. It's basically Breaking Bird.
Jeez.
What, they cook meth?
Oh, I don't know.
Breaking Bad's
Ah,
usually
Jesus.
cooking meth. Pigeons. Okay.
This is
Lots of pigeons in New York.
Yeah, I was thinking New York actually.
New York. Yeah, come on.
No, it's your gas.
Are you happy with that, mate? See what I did there? I actually consulted you before I just jumped in. Yes, San Francisco.
Are you happy with that? So the trees
Yes,
and
he's
the
happy
pigeons.
with that. New
Lots of
York
trees,
City,
lots of pigeons.
baby.
New York City. New York City.
Correct.
Boom.
That's what I'm talking
You're
about.
welcome.
Well done.
You're welcome, Ryan.
Third clue.
Not saying thank
God,
you.
I can't. My back.
Probably wouldn't have helped you, but
Carrying.
there's a language spoken only in this city, originated in the 19th century among Irish and Scottish immigrants in the city.
Damn.
It's called Boontling, though it's nearly extinct. A few older New Yorkers still know it.
Nice.
It's like New York City's own underground dialect.
Can you give us a few words? I want to hear what this sounds
no.
like.
How do you give us that clue and not give us a
Okay,
word?
okay.
Sorry, I can't. I have to look up.
I can hear the listeners screaming at you.
Listeners, go home and listeners at home. Sorry, check that out. Boontling, Boontling.
Bootling.
Look it up.
Bootling.
So, our guest from New York City, originally actually from
Guest.
Ireland. The person we're talking about, sorry, he's not here, obviously.
Oh, you've got them here.
Yes.
Sure.
The person we're talking about today, his name is Michael Malloy. Michael Malloy.
Mick Malloy.
Mick Malloy, not Mick Malloy, the Australian comedian. No, Michael Malloy was born, this particular Michael Malloy was born around 1873 in Count Donegal in Ireland. Exact records are a little bit sketchy. He was a drifter by the time he hit the US, and paperwork wasn't exactly tight for broke immigrants in the early 20th century New York. But by the time of his death, in 1933 is estimated to be around 60 years old. Michael Malloy was an Irish immigrant living in New York City during the Great Depression. He was homeless, around 60 years old, as I mentioned, and known for drinking heavily. Locals nicknamed him, he was the original Iron Mike.
Nice.
Not a boxer, or Mike the Durable. So there was a murder plot against Iron Mike.
What? Why would they want to murder him? What did he do? He's just drinking piss?
Known as the Murder Trust. So
Shit.
in 1932, a group of 5 men, Tony Marino, Joseph Murphy, Francis Pasqua, Hershey Green, and Daniel Kreisberg came up with a plan to murder Malloy and collect life insurance they fraudulently took out on him.
That's fair. That's fair.
That's wild.
They had 5 attempts at murdering
One each?
Michael Malloy. Their plan was to get him to drink himself to death, but Malloy just would not die. So 5 attempts.
He was too durable.
So,
I'm thinking of like Homer when they're feeding him the donuts in hell.
this is what
This usually doesn't happen.
I don't know what's the problem.
I'm going to go into the five different ways, but I want to give you both the opportunity first to have a go at how do you think they have, what sort of plan do you think they construed to kill
They're
him?
just like really.
This is your first. Have a guess. Would do you think?
Just
they did?
increase.
How would you kill Iron Mike?
Well, I mean, it's through the bottle, so probably just like increasing to a lethal dose of like ethanol or whatever it is.
Well, if you hit him hard enough over the head with a bottle, they'll generally die.
They probably should have just done
So
that.
they
but
just increased his.
Oh,
I don't know. That's a good guess. So
like alcohol poisoning.
The first attempt was unlimited alcohol. So they gave him an open bar tab with the strongest booze available.
It's like letting a
petrol.
Labrador like
Here's
onto the dog
here's
food
the bag of food.
and it will eat itself to death.
So he drank everything: whiskey, gin,
Nice.
even wood alcohol, which is basically poison.
Polish,
But he
wow.
kept showing up the next day asking for more.
They should have known
They just
better. This
said-
guy's Irish. They should have known.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was unsuccessful attempt number 1.
Damn. Wow.
Number 2, what do you think?
They should have maybe this isn't my guess, but maybe they should have flipped the script and given him water, because his body wouldn't know how to at this stage. God damn, how much alcohol?
He has alcohol in the veins.
Wow.
He's 90% alcohol.
I'm going to go. What year was this? Is this early 1900s?
Yeah, early
the
1900s.
30s.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the 30s.
The 30s. Oh, okay. He wasn't driving a car then. Did he get? I reckon they would have conspired and tried to get him to stumble out of the saloon or what have you, and get run over by a horse and carriage or a car if they haven't.
What
been in the
about
city.
something involving the
Hey, it's
Hudson?
my guess.
Yeah.
Why is that
Rack
your
off.
guess?
Rack off.
So
Get out of
interesting.
here.
I'm
You
gonna
had your time.
Skip to number 3 because that
Did I get that right then?
not quite. It involves horse liniment to be exact. So horse liniment, raw oysters / sardines. So they mixed horse liniment,
Sexy.
used for treating muscle aches in horses, and crushed glass into his drinks and food. Still nothing.
So they're trying to be like sneaky about it.
Exactly.
Yeah, like, oh, he died of
Yeah,
his own thing.
he drank himself or
Gotcha,
he drank
okay.
horse liniment. Like an
He
idiot.
ate glass.
Yeah. So that didn't work.
Okay. Okay.
A drunken swim in the Hudson River. Something like that.
Don't mind that.
Drown.
No.
You just drown.
No.
He
so
just fell in and drowned.
the second, well,
In
now
winter.
the third, we'll say the third. The third way they tried to kill him, antifreeze and rat poison. So
It's getting a little more
similar to the
brazen.
horse liniment, they replaced his drinks with antifreeze and rat poison. He drank it like it was a pint of Guinness and just kept going.
Jesus, this guy's incredible.
You can't. Iron Mike
Wow.
for a reason.
This guy needs to be studied.
Number 4. What do you think their attempt number 4
I'm
was?
running out of
Oh
ideas.
man, it's just getting more drastic, isn't it? Feed him more alcohol, give him some stuff in his food and drink.
Yeah.
Give him some.
So the next thing they tried is they tried freezing him.
I was going to say lock him outside in winter or something like.
Well, yeah,
he's homeless. So.
partly. So they dumped him in the snow on a freezing night after soaking his clothes in water,
yeah, that'll do it.
hoping he'd freeze.
That'd get pretty cold, you'd think.
He was found snoring in a local doorway the next morning.
This guy.
Okay, just pause it here. Iron Mike's just going to the bar and meeting how many people were there? 4?
5.
5 of them. There's 5 of them. So he's just meeting these people and he's just ending up in these stupid predicaments.
Yep,
And
then
he's just like, I'll just keep hanging out with these people. I'll just go back and they're
At
going to
no
give me
point
free alcohol. Like,
has this guy switched on to what's
come
going
on,
on.
Mike. Come on, Mike.
He's like, man, I'm getting free drinks.
How did I
Fifth way they tried to kill him.
Here we go. This is the winner? This is
Yeah,
not
this
the
is
winner?
No, this is not the winner.
Oh,
this is another
Jesus.
unsuccessful attempt.
Oh.
Hit by a taxi. So they paid a cab driver to run him over. Malloy was injured, but again survived, came back for another drink a few days later.
In the
So
same
obviously
taxi.
injured, survived,
Yeah.
and went, hey guys, I'm back.
You never believe what happened. There's a
Taxi hit me,
taxi
I'm-
driver out
I'm
there.
all good.
Maniac.
That's wild. How fast
Wow.
can taxis go in the 30s anyway? Are they like Model Ts or something? Like,
How
Fast enough to kill you.
sure,
surely.
you'd think so. You would
Yeah.
think so. God damn.
How he finally died.
Oh.
Not
Natural
dead?
causes.
Oh, no way.
Eventually,
he died in his sleep.
this is how they were successful in the end. They stuck a hose into his mouth while he was passed out drunk and pumped in carbon monoxide gas.
God.
And that finally killed him.
Okay.
Do they have coroners in the 30s?
Well, good point.
Thank you.
Dun dun dun.
So authorities got suspicious when another man the gang tried to kill died under strange circumstances.
Oh, so they had a few lined up.
They had a few lined up, yeah.
Smart boys.
Or at least one other. An investigation followed, and the murder trust, those 5 guys, were uncovered. 4 of the 5 conspirators were convicted and executed in the electric chair.
Shit.
Story highlights how life insurance fraud was a grim side hustle during the Depression era.
That is a wild scam.
It's a wild sequence
pretty
of
bad,
events.
isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. Wow. Okay.
Surely there's easier ways to make money.
How many people did they murder?
Depression,
Yeah, I guess not. Yeah.
Potatoes?
What are you
I don't
doing?
know.
a lot easier to get a side hustle today.
Pigeons, drugs?
Who's offering up insurance premiums in the Great Depression even?
No.
And I
shutting
wonder
up
how much
shop.
they were.
High excess.
Yeah.
I mean, $1,000.
I'll let you know in 6 months.
Well, I don't drink, so put that through your attempts. So I thought today, rather than a game or anything,
We want games.
I wanted to discuss, and everyone, not everyone, but most people can look back and talk about a near-death experience. And Mike's had 5 of them. Probably couldn't remember them back because he was drunk with most of them. But I wanted to ask you both and discuss today. Have you had a near-death experience?
Yes.
Or have we tried to kill someone?
And, well, that's an option if you have tried, but failing that, near-death experience.
Yes.
The Remembering Them podcast is supported by My Legacy Message. How do you want to be remembered? My Legacy Message provides a service that delivers a keepsake video to your loved ones, often as a surprise, after you pass. My Legacy Message. Be remembered.
Yes. I've nearly died.
Off you go.
In 2012, my friends and I, we decided we're going to do the Anaconda Adventure Race at Noosa. And I was to do the kayaking because I had kayaked, 6 times in my life.
You'll be fine. Yeah.
Didn't train.
Big shoulders
I
on
was
you.
like, yeah, it'll be okay. How hard could it be? I'll just take my time. Apparently,
Does sound pretty easy.
apparently tough. So when I took off the shore to do my leg and paddle out, all good. So and then you're on the ocean, and then you got to come back into the Noosa River, and the breaks were pretty intense, and knocked me off straight, like pretty hard. You're wearing a helmet, and then it just kept pounding me, and the kayak hit me in the head, and
That's hilarious.
I was just getting smashed, man. And I could see the surf lifesavers were occupied with other people because it was pretty messed up.
Everyone was getting
1
knocked
minute.
off.
Yeah.
1 minute, Ryan.
And I was like,
Oh, this is me.
yeah, this could be it, man. Like, and I remember just thinking like, well, okay, it's now or never. You have to just get onto your kayak and hold on and just like try and get back on it and just float out of there or something. And somehow did because I was gassed too.
Yeah.
Like
Takes it out of you, man.
I was
Yeah, well, you were
exhausted at that point.
Doing the kayak leg.
And
yeah.
then it's pounding you, and you're trying to just like survive and breathe, and you're getting water in your mouth. So at that point, I was like, okay, this is how people die and drown, and it could be it. So that was it, man. And then after that, I had another 8Ks to go.
I was going to say, did you man up and finish it, or
Dude,
what?
so then that was 8Ks. I did it, and then
About time.
then
Slow.
the next it was so slow
on.
as. Then the next person does a bike, and then the next person does a run, and then they'll have to go again for another 6Ks.
Easy.
And then at the end, when I get off, the whole team's got to be there and do a 1K beach run. So I had a bad day. It was a horrible day.
So you
but
went
I
back
did it.
out and did the 6K?
Yeah, I did the whole
you had
thing.
to.
I'm going to let my team down.
They're probably yelling at you from the side. What's taking? What are you doing in the water?
I think
Get on the kayak.
I had the trauma from the near death and was just like, I couldn't think about it or absorb it. I was just like, I just got to keep going. Everyone's gonna be
I might
mad.
jump in on the back of that, Luke, if that's okay.
No, go for it, because if there's anyone else to talk about drowning, it would be would be the man across from me.
On the back of yours, Ryan, with the surf, and we all, if you're brought up in Australia, you know how treacherous the surf can be.
Between the flags.
I've got a couple of stories around that. One, Luke was around, which is my second story. The first
You're
one,
welcome.
You weren't around for. So this is before Luke was born and came to the family and ruined things. So myself and the second eldest, Joe, middle child, we would have only been in not even waist deep water. Massive wave came. I think it was big enough to knock us off our feet. Got up. I believe we're in Broadbeach on the Gold Coast. I think we're there at the beach with family. It was just him and I in the water. Got up. Where's Joe? Out to sea. Like the way
he was swimming.
He
was just swimming like mad.
Now, if you know Joe well, he's not fond of the water, and maybe on the back of this, but he's not couldn't swim.
I don't think I am either, to be fair. Yeah.
I don't
swim. Oh, he can swim.
Yeah, but he's not fond. He's not a strong swimmer by any stretch.
I don't think any of us Filipinos are.
Not strong swimmers. But we're not winning gold at the Olympics. But anyway, he was taken out.
Speak for yourself.
He was taken out and struggling big time, and I could see this.
I mean, how old was he too? He was like 5. If I wasn't around, because there's a 6-year gap between me.
Yeah, he would have been.
So he would have been 5, 4 maybe.
Yeah, I'm thinking 4.
Yeah, so why couldn't he be a better swimmer? What's wrong with you, you 4-year-old
he
child?
Would have been 4. 3 or 4. I'm guessing 3 or 4. So I would have been 7 or 8. Yeah. Got up, seen Joe, older brother, hero, swam out to him, and I'm not a strong swimmer either, but strong enough to swim out there, and in my 7, 8-year-old brain, drag him back in. No way, not with a heavy surf. So we're getting smashed with the surf. I'm trying to hold him up because he's panicking. Yeah. And again, if you're comfortable with the surf, that's the worst thing you can do, because they're trying to punch you, grab you to keep themselves up. So I'm looking up at him, trying to hold him up, going, "Well, this is how people drown," similar to yourself. And fortunately, there were some surfers around, came across, grabbed us on the. But I thought I was done. Like I was in a world of hurt.
So surfers got you.
Surfers got us before the lifesavers. So the lifesavers came as well afterwards, and
mad props.
So that was number one. Second one was, and this is just I think twice now where I've been close to death and just thought, okay, I'm not doing this again. So surfing with Luke and Max, I don't know how old we would have been, but
10 years ago maybe.
Oh, it would have been more than that, because it was before sort of Facebook Marketplace. So I'd got a surfboard off the trading post.
Oh,
the trading post.
Yeah.
No way.
That's the stuff.
Hadn't, being an amateur surfer, I hadn't checked the leash or anything like that. So we were out.
Jump in, you'll be fine.
And the waves were pretty...
Down at Burley.
They were pretty heavy. They were pretty big.
We were rolling in.
And I caught a couple of waves and it was all good, going back out. Not strong. A, not strong surfers. B, not strong swimmers.
Having fun.
Having a bit of fun. It was good. And then I've caught this wave, got dumped, and then I've gone, no worries. I'll grab my board, help that, keep me afloat. It snapped. Like the leash is snapped. And I just look at my board going into shore. And I'm out here in the deep going, oh, shit. And waves are hitting me, and Luke and Max they're closer into shore, and I'm just waving to them going, I need help here.
I remember that. Max was on the shore, my mate Max, and then I was, I don't know, probably waist deep in. And I hear this real faint, or like a help. I was like, who was that? And then I see this board fly past me. And I was like,
that was my board.
I was like, oh, that's Mark's board. And then I look out and I think I see you, and I'm like, oh shit. It's lucky I didn't hesitate, because if I did, like I got to you just in, like you were done. You were like on your last legs.
Yeah.
So hero, younger brother, floats out there, saves the day.
So wait, why couldn't you just swim back in? Because you were just cooked.
I was cooked. Yeah. And it was a pretty strong whip as well. I think we were.
I remember I got you, and then I was like, "Oh, let's just keep kicking." And we eventually got in, but we were.
It was tough.
I was wrecked.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was.
Sometimes
that was
it's not that easy. Like the last the two like triathlon sprints I've
You
done
made
the
it down
last 2
easy.
years.
Why don't you just swim back in?
Yeah.
Well, as soon as I said it, I was just like, "No, dickhead, that was you."
You were literally in the same predicament. Yeah, why don't you just get back on the kayak?
These triathlons that we do, like you go out and around and then come back in. And the first one I did, I remember like going around that last buoy and going, now I'll just surf my way back in.
Nice and
but
easy.
then like, no, some waves just pull you back and keep pulling you back. And then
And then dump you and
Yeah.
then pull you back again. Yeah,
and
it's-
it's like, I'm cooked, man. Like what? Let me surf back in.
Yeah.
Anyway,
That's fun.
yeah, so
great
that's
fun.
my
yeah,
couple.
cool.
So
Well,
if you're in Australia,
stay the hell out of water.
Yeah, I haven't
just swim
tempted fate again.
between the flags.
Jeez, man.
I don't really have a close death experience where I thought this is it. But if you do remember, I used to climb towers as an electrician.
Yeah.
So I used to climb these big towers. I remember this was the hardest climb I've ever done. And this was like peak of my climbing career. So you're pretty fit because you're just climbing these vertical ladders. And these towers are about 100, sometimes 110, 120 meters.
crazy,
Real big. If you're in Brisbane, you can see the Mount Cootha Tower. I think that's about 250 meters. I've climbed that one. It's really great. It's a great fun exercise. I was out way country, like Roma, so about 7 hours from the coast. I was out there middle of winter, and there was this big tower, and I was with my workmate, and we usually take it in turns. So I climb one, you climb the next one. I climb one, you climb the next one. Pretty fair, right? First thing in the morning, I think it's like 5 a.m., winter, you're freezing. And I had a jumper on, and you have gloves on, but the gloves obviously aren't meant to keep your hands warm. And I was like, I'll climb this one. And it's what we call a double hook. So usually there's a safety line where you can hook onto, and if you fall, it'll catch you. But this one, it didn't have the line. So you have hooks on you, and it's clipped to your harness, and then you hook up, and you're just doing that. So you hook up, you unclip it, put the next one up. So you got to be in at least 1 point. So when you have that one in, you take the other one off, and you clip that in.
God, how
Yeah.
annoying.
Yeah. So I made it to the top, and I was just doing audits. So I'm just taking photos, all well and good. And then I start to come back down, and I don't know what it was, man, but my hands were cooked.
Oh.
Like it was, again, middle of winter. And I remember I took my gloves off. I was about, 75 meters up. And there's nothing, there's no platform or anything. I was just hanging to the tower, and you have a waist strap sort of thing, so you can tie yourself in. So you're just sitting there on your legs. And I remember I took my gloves off, and they were like I had big cuts right where all your, where your knuckles join. They were just red, raw, blood everywhere. It was disgusting. And I was like, well, what's my options here? Do I keep climbing, or do I just call for help? And then, what's going to happen?
God.
He's going to have to climb up, rescue me.
Yeah.
And he's like, to be honest, I was fitter than him, like considerably. So I don't think he would have made it up. So I would have, had to climb back up, wait for a rescue team to come out. And bear in mind, I'm in Roma. There's no rescue teams anywhere nearby. So I just decided to man up and just go. I was so slow coming down. Usually you can be pretty quick. But I was just like 1, 2, and then I just sit there and rest because my hands were just So that was a moment where I thought, what do I do here? What am I actually? Yeah. So
Using Ryan's surf logic, why don't you just climb down?
why don't you just do it? Yeah. Why don't you just jump off and just land on your feet? Just so easy.
Just use gravity to slide down the tower, dickhead.
Just use the elevator over
Have you actually? It reminded me of this movie. Have you ever seen this one called
Yeah,
Fall?
it's a silly movie.
It's
Silly
like
movie.
I
I
didn't expect much, but I was actually kind of pleasantly surprised. It was like
You would be with amateur movies like
It
that.
was a little bit of funsies. I like this song, a little something different.
Speaking of funsies, that was
So, what was this episode again?
it was a Dumb Ways to Die episode.
Iron Mike.
Iron
about
Mike,
us, right?
Iron Mike Malloy, 5 attempts, finally got him on the 6th. But then, obviously, they got executed for...
Execute. So wait, so 4 or 5 of them
4 or
got
5. I don't know why the 5th one got away. Maybe he wasn't as...
He wasn't as active in the
Maybe
killings.
he didn't try any of those attempts. Maybe he was just involved in the life. Maybe he went out to get the life
He was a
insurance
cab
policies.
driver.
He just got he just got the policies sorted. So he
Stitched
didn't
up.
get executed.
That's nuts too. Think about that. 1930s. That's less than 100 years ago, and they had executions
Yeah.
back then, like
Electric
electric
chairs.
chairs. Damn, man.
Yeah.
That's
The elect-
crazy.
And I would imagine that those electric chairs weren't efficient either.
No.
They're just like getting you with some shitty wiring and
Do you want to know something niche that I read the other day?
yeah.
When does Star Wars come out? 70s, 75 or something. Mark should know, you're a big Star Wars
I don't like Star Wars.
guy. Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and say no to George Lucas. But anyway, let's say it was 1975. So the last public beheading I'm pretty sure it was Paris, was in like 1978.
Yeah,
so,
I remember this.
Yeah, so the last public beheading was after Star Wars was already released. That's insane.
Wow.
That is crazy.
That is crazy, man.
How far we
It's not ISIS. This is in France.
this
Yeah.
was,
God.
yeah.
Wow. So that's the story of Michael Malloy, New York City, previously
Thank you, Iron Mike.
born in Ireland.
Great story.
Great stomach.
Yeah.
Great liver.
To be honest, not a dumb way to die. He was conspired against. That's
Dumb
Yeah,
for
maybe a
the
notable
dumb for the
person.
4/5, I think. to try and,
It was dumb for them.
Dumb for
because they got
them for
executed.
the ways they tried to kill him. Surely they would have been.
Leave Mike alone.
Yeah.
What did he do to you?
Yeah.
Just
So
a
that's
guy.
our Dumb Ways to Die episode for today.
Thank you, mate.
For this
That was
week.
good.
Michael Malloy, rest in peace. Iron Mike, unbelievable how you survived those 5 attempts. So that's the end of our lighter, shorter episodes. Reminder for everyone to give us a rating and review. If you've enjoyed that episode about Michael Malloy or any of our previous episodes, share them with your friends and family. Give us a rating and review on your preferred podcast platform, ideally 5 stars, so we show up on other platforms where people are searching for grief or lighter stories about grief. Reminder to support us on our Patreon, Patreon/Remembering Them, and $6 a month US, $9 a month
Cheap.
Australian.
So
to
cheap.
support the podcast, get exclusive access to chats with our OG guests and Chat TAP guests as well. They're really fun chats, kind of like today, a little bit more lighthearted. Reminder to jump on our socials, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, we're all on there, and the My Legacy Message service, which you would have heard halfway through this episode as well, mylegacymessage.com.au. Leave a video message to your loved ones, family or friends, often a surprise after you've passed. Thank you both for
Well done,
joining
man.
me today.
Thank you, Mark.
Thanks for that.
Thank you for
Mark.
sharing your
Thanks for
close brushes with death.
No problem.
And thanks for participating in this episode and looking forward to the next one.
Games next one.
Yeah.
Bring the games
Lack
back.
of games,
Bring the
but
games.
that's fine.
Noted.
Thank
Love
you,
you both.
boys.
Bye.
Bye.
The Remembering Them podcast is created for entertainment purposes. Mark and Ryan are not licensed mental health professionals. If you would like to discuss your mental well-being, several free resources are available in Australia. Information about these services is available in the podcast notes. Please take the time to contact a loved one today and tell them how much you appreciate and love them.